up, everybody? How y'all doing? I was just grooving. I love my intro. Anyway, it's Thursday night, so you all know it's time to have a candid conversation. Tonight's show will be a little more serious. I'm doing a series called Black and Missing, and it's about hey Rochelle. And because I did the show a while ago, and it got a great response. And there are so many black people missing, and it doesn't get any attention hardly. Hey, Volvo. So, especially when it comes to women and our girls. Now, tonight's show is mostly about women. I'm going to stretch out the girls to next week, but I'm going to talk about one in particular tonight. But we're going to, get into black and missing and help find these people. They are out there somewhere. I have my thoughts, and I'll share them at the end. But yeah, we need to find our people. Now, I wish everyone who's missing is found, no matter what nationality, race you are. But, my concentration is on my people. So, with that being said, hello, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, please hit like, share this. This is important to share. So, let's share this. Get the word out. Try to help find these women. Now, by coincidence, I didn't plan this, but on tonight's show, all of the women that I'm talking about, the women, they are from Chicago. By coincidence, I guess Spirit did it because I didn't plan this. And it just amazed me how many women are missing in Chicago alone. It's like, wow. Well, let's get into it. So, Kwame, first on the list is a Sonia Marie Rouse, R-O-U-S-E, Rouse. Yeah, Rouse. So I'm going to show Sonia's picture, get her up here, and try to bring try to find this lady. Yeah, that's Sonia Marie Rouse. So she was last seen on March the 21st, back in 2016. At that time, she was 50 years old. And at the time of her disappearance, she's now 57. She'll be 58 on August 11th. She's 5'8" and weighs between 165 and 175 pounds. She was possibly carrying a purse. Now, there's no description of what she had on, and she's probably wearing a blonde curly wig. Now, Miss Rouse, at the time, she was in an abusive relationship with her live-in boyfriend, and she also suffers from bipolar disorder. So she was last seen if you're in Chicago, 75th and Champlain on Chicago South Side at around 11 p.m. on the 5th of March, 2016. So 11 o'clock, she was standing outside on 75th and Champlain, and that's the last time anyone has seen her. She's also described as having very, very large breasts. So if you, Chicago or any surrounding area, if you have seen Miss Rose, please contact Chicago PD at 312-745-5206. Now, they haven't said anything, but I am really hoping they have questioned her boyfriend at that time. But they haven't said anything. They said they didn't have any leads, which I don't understand how someone just disappears off the face of the earth and there's no leads. This lady has been missing since March of 2016. Here we are in March of 2023. Please, let's help find this sister. Okay, that's her. Next on the list, we have a lady by the name of Jerica Laws, a younger lady. Jerica Laws, who has been missing since August of 2015. Jerica Laws. You can have that one, Kwame? Can we get that up? Yes. So now, Jerica Laws is from Park Forest, Illinois, which is a Chicago suburb. And on Sunday, the 16th of August, she left her home around, well, no, she didn't. I'm sorry. On the 16th, she left her home on the 17th of 2015. And she went for a walk. She said she was going for a walk. But she went out to dinner with a friend of hers, a male friend. They went to Chipotle. And she told him she was going for a walk. She told him she was going to meet someone, but she never said who it was she was going to meet. Now, person unidentified. So she didn't carry her purse with her. She didn't have any money or an ID because she was just going for a walk. Where she lived, there's a trail in the back and she would walk that trail often. So no one thought anything about it. And let's see. So now she had returned to live in Park Forest after living in Indianapolis for 2 years. So at this time, she was 24 years old. And like I said, this was 2015. Now she is in her 30s, okay? And she's described as a 5'2", approximately weighing 140 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. And like I said, she went to Chipotle with a male friend, and after eating, he dropped her off at home. She told him she was going to go ahead and meet someone, but she was going for a walk first. And no one's heard from her since then. So if you contact the Park Forest Police at 708-748-1309 or Community United Effort Missing Persons at 910-343-1131. Again, the Park Forest Police Department number is 708-748-1309 or Community United Effort Missing Persons at 910-343-1131. Now, her nickname is Rick. That's what they call her. And according to her loved ones, Jerica is described as somebody who's a homebody. She enjoys going to church, and she did not go out to clubs or bars. So then but like I said, she went to take walks all the time. She was into fitness. So she would take a walk on this trail often. But like I said, she didn't take any ID with her because she probably was just going for a walk and coming back and then meet whoever else she was going to meet. But she went for a walk, and no one has seen her since or heard from her. So let's try to find Jerica. And next on the list, there is a list. Camille Jones. Look, Kwame, own it. Pop that up. Camille Jones. So Camille has been missing since actually June 18th of 2022. So this is a fresher case. Now Camille is 5'2", weighs 130 pounds, and medium complexion. And she was last seen at her house on the west side, on the 4900 block of West Rice Street, around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And at that time, she was seen wearing a blue jean shorts, navy blue crop top, and black and blue Jordan gym shoes. She has a nose piercing and a navel piercing. And at that time, she had long brown braids. So she was a student at Orr Academy. And it's believed she may have fallen in with a dangerous crowd. But she hung out on the south side at 31st Street Beach, where in the summertime it carries, and it's it's heavily populated by us. It carries. Sometimes that is the spot when you're young. That is the spot. If you my age, I'd be like, name for you. But the young kids like to go over there and kick it at the beach. So that was her hangout spot. She would come over there from the west side. Interesting. Now, if you know anything or if you have seen Camille Jones, then please call Chicago Police Department at 312-746-8255. That is area code 312-746-8255. And Camille Jones is her name. She was 17 at the time. She's now 18 years old. So let's try to find Camille. Oh, next up, this case right here, sister named Kire Senoj. This is gonna be we're gonna be on here, stay here for a minute. Kire Senoj. Now I had asked when Tice was doing his Tice did a series, and I asked him about had he heard about the sister in Chicago who's been missing for a while. She was a pregnant postal worker. No one knows nothing, and this is her. Kire Senoj. This was a pregnant postal worker. Some of you may have seen me in the comment section asking Tice about it, but I also talked to Tice about it offline. But she went missing. So she's been missing since October the 2nd, 2018. I remember I was living in LA at the time. 2018, October the 2nd. Now she was pregnant, and at the time of her disappearance, she was out shopping for baby supplies and baby clothes. She was talking to her mom on the phone, saying how excited she was, and asked her mother what to pick out. Her mother, according to her, she was so excited she didn't know what to get. So she's on the phone with her mother while in the store, asked her, what all should I pick up? What all should I get? So her mother also said that she didn't show any signs of anything being wrong. Everything seemed normal. Now, detectives have studied surveillance videos from around the streets. Now, in Chicago, most our neighborhoods have you'll see these blue lights. They look like police sirens, but they're at the top of the poles. They're cameras, and they can see, supposedly they can see for like 2 miles. Now, I don't know how they can see for 2 miles, and so much crime happens, but that's be a totally different kind of conversation. So, but according to them, they saw the surveillance camera and they've been watching. So they saw her carrying in her groceries to her apartment on it. She lived on the 8100 block of Vernon. And then later that evening, it shows her getting into her car with a man who is now a person of interest. Now, the two of them drove to a 24-hour Walgreens on 86th and Cottage Grove. So now the security cameras also show Kire withdrawing at the Walgreens, withdrawing hundreds of dollars from the ATM. And this was at 10:45 p.m. at night. So now her mom said that this was very strange for her because Kira is very careful about spending her money. She just wasn't frivolous with it. If she withdrew money, it was a purpose. And why would you need hundreds of dollars at 10:45 p.m.? She doesn't know. And so, but that was the last time Kira was seen on that surveillance camera. And they released that footage, the channel 7 News, ABC News. So around 11:45 p.m. on the street cameras in her neighborhood, her car was seen being driven by a man. And he parked the car down the street from the house, got out of the passenger side of the car. And so the police think that he got out on the passenger side because he didn't want to touch the door, and he was making it look like the Kire had driven the car. And so he had to, you get on the passenger side, you have to adjust the seat. Kire's not a tall person. Person interested is a taller person. I'll get to that. Get to him in a minute. So they saw it. So then the next day, the man drove. He ended up taking. He came to Kire's. He took the car that night. He went to Kira's house. Did whatever. Came out and took her car. And then the very next day came back to her home, parked the car, and went in the house. Excuse me, and brought some things outside of the house. But instead of getting in her car, he got in his car and drove away. So now he kept Kira's car overnight. And when he returned, he brought her car back. So the person of interest, his name is Joshua Simmons. And damn it. I forgot to give Kwame his picture. Wow, Joshua Simmons is a young man. He's like over 6 feet. He has long locks past his shoulder. Light skin, attractive dude. Did she know this guy? Meet the Whitakers. Meet the Whitakers. Here I come. Here, I'm about to meet you right now. So he brought the car back. That was the guy she was with when she drove away. Joshua Simmons is the boyfriend and the father of her child. So then when her mom spoke with Kira because she was on the phone with her mother while she was in Walgreens, and she told her mom she was with Joshua then. Now, when her mama called Joshua, he says, I haven't seen Kira. Now, I talked to her on the phone, but I haven't seen her. So her mother, that was a lie. Why would she tell her mother she was with Josh? And, and she really wasn't. So, so she spoke to her. So then, according to detectives, Joshua Simmons is, he's giving conflicted stories and accounts. Every time they talk to him, his story changes. So now he's at the point where he is refusing to be a part of the investigation. He wants nothing more to do with this. He's not saying anything. So he refused to cooperate. And he has moved out of state to go live with his other baby mother, who has some of his children. So yeah, he's moved on and away and will not. The police have tried to contact him through his old residency, and he refuses to answer any questions. Now, Kira's mom, he has responded to her, and she said, this is a direct quote, Joshua, I know you know something. You know what happened. you don't know the pain that I feel not knowing what's going on with my child. I wish you would come forward and tell us what really happened to her. End quote. So no one knows anything. He knows because he was with her. The surveillance camera shows. Now, I don't know the law like that. I would need Pam to ask her. But since they know this is him, he's on the surveillance camera. Why are you not I guess you can't charge him. But I'm like, just bring him in, but you can't charge him if you don't have any evidence. So I guess it's kind of tricky. But I agree with her mother. He knows whatever happened, he knows about it. And like I said, his stories are conflicting according to the police. And he just told them, I'm not going to talk to you all anymore. I'm done. And then packed up, moved. Now, to me, that's guilt. You packed up your life and just moved. In the middle of the investigation of the woman you're about to have a baby with. But then you're going to live with another woman who you have several babies with. This sounds like something. I ain't going to say that word. I really hope Kire, I'm hoping Kire's alive. To find her. And I hope, if not, I hope they really find out what happened. Normally, when a person goes missing, it's always someone. Exactly, beat the Whitakers. Yeah, I believe that. This is why I can't stand law enforcement. Right. Because, he worked at the post office with her. Oh, no, I ain't know that, LLE. Oh, that's how you know. Why is he a person of interest instead of under arrest? Now, Rochelle, that's what I say. Law enforcement is interested in black and missing people. Basically, Auntie Deb, basically. The way he got out of the car and how she took out all the money is, yeah. Yeah, right. Miss Lisa, I say, wow, so yeah, going over this, yeah. Cause now with them releasing the footage of her at Walgreens is new because for a minute, like while I lived in LA and up until recently, they didn't know nothing. Everything's up. And it was like wasn't going on nothing. And I think they're on top of it the way they are, even though they could do more. Because her mother is not letting up on them. Her mother has her foot on their neck. And I think that's what a lot of times we have to do when it's our people that's missing. Now doing my research, I've seen other people that are missing, and the FBI have all these rewards out here. Now, supposedly I only seen one picture though, but it wasn't legit. It was like a street picture. But there's a $45,000 reward out for Kire. If anyone knows anything, but I don't know if that's legit, so I didn't post it. Because like I said, it was a street sign. It's not like I saw the legitimate FBI posters for there's a one white girl missing. She's been missing for some years. So there is a $50,000 reward if anyone knows anything. They're frantically, and I'm going what it said, frantically trying to find her. Just like these people are frantically trying to find their loved ones. But no one knows anything. And what I believe what I was getting at. Now, I don't know about Kiara, because she was with her boyfriend. But these other, like Camille, Jerica, and Miss Roos, maybe, I believe that they're being trafficked. Now, it's one, I'm going to talk about her case. Oh, God. I'm going to talk about it next week. She called her mother, and she was saying how she was about to be trafficked. She really thought because this van kept following her. Which made me go back to, if you all remember, was it last summer, I believe, when Tisha Campbell was filming somewhere and she said this van was following her and these people were trying to get her, and everybody laughed it off. I didn't laugh, but people were laughing it off and, oh, girl, nobody wants you. No. There are missing black women for a reason. Where do you all think they're getting these body parts from, these organs from? Like now the big thing is, and this ain't just black women, this, in my opinion, this is all women that are may come up missing. But there's this thing now, they're doing taking out uterus, put in uterus into trans women so they can carry a baby. Now, I don't know how that's gonna work because I just don't know, because there's no shade. I'm not saying anything against anybody, but the way men were made, our hips are not made to spread. When a woman is pregnant, and her everything it shifts because her body, that's how she's designed. We're not designed for that. So I don't know how that's gonna work. But anyway, they've got to get them uteruses from somewhere. And this is why I believe a lot of women are missing. And if you go on the black web, the price for different things, like the price for eggs, a woman's eggs are, man, in the high thousands. In the very high thousands. So imagine, because I know women, that the eggs are high thousands. Kidney, I used to know this. Kidneys were like 75,000, which is why you had some people would go in to like a basement underground thing to sell their organs for money. Because they'll pay you 75,000, and you know people say, "Well, I only need one kidney, so let me lay on this table." Yeah, and that's the highest price of everything, Auntie Deb. Melanin is really, really high. You can get money for melanin. That's really high because, as I always say, they want to be us. They want us. Woo! But yeah, this is it's terrible. It's just terrible. But like I said, so many of our women are missing. I mean, tons are missing. And the Chicago area alone, it blew me. I'm like, whoa. And I wonder why that area, why that particular part of the country. But it's like it's missing black women everywhere. It's missing women everywhere, but it's missing black women everywhere. But like Chicago, is the number is high. It's like there are like out of the thousands of women, there are 37,000 women missing, black women missing from the city of Chicago. 37,000. That is a town for some areas. Yeah. But anyway, right here, right now, let's take a commercial break. I'll be back and I talk about more cases. Be back. And we're back. Welcome back. Thank you all for rocking with me. I meant to say at the beginning of the show, I want to apologize for not coming on last week. Last week I had just kept having things come at me, and it was like I needed to take a day off, just take the rest off. You know, Kwame kept calling me. He was worried. I'm like, no, I'm good. I just need to take this today. I just need to sit this out. That's all. Like Wednesday night, it was just stuff just kept happening. I like, yeah. So I apologize, but I thank you all for rocking with me. And thank you, who said that they was a big fan. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Keyshawn, thank you. So before I go into the other one, let's see a woman by the name of Pat Moss. Y'all know I have a heart for kids and seniors. And so Pat Moss, this kind of shook me a little bit. This is a lady out of Riverdale, Georgia. No, not April, not yet. That's the next. That's the next one. Pat Moss. Did I put it up there? Is there Pat Moss in there? That's not Pat either. Okay, I forgot to put Pat. Anyway, we'll talk. So, I'm sorry. The Pat Moss is a 77-year-old. I'll have a picture though next week. But she's a 77-year-old lady out of Riverdale, Georgia, who was last seen at her home, and she just wandered away. She has Alzheimer's, and she just wandered off, and no one has seen her since 2020. 2020. You know, at the height of the pandemic. She wandered off and no one has seen her or anything. And that's just, like I said, I find it odd. People can just disappear off the earth and no one knows anything, no one sees anything, says anything. Yeah, no. And I think some people, like with Kire, somebody, I don't know, somebody may have seen something. Chicago is a big city, but sometimes you can get in an isolated area. It depends, because like with me, I'll use myself for an example. One night I was getting off work, I had to do overtime, and I got off late, and I was on the phone with my cousin, and I saw these two dudes coming towards me, but I just thought they walking. I'm walking home, so I think they're walking. But when they got closer, because it was dark, and they pulled their hoods up, their hoodies, pulled their hoods up. So when they got up on me, I thought the dude said, "Do you know what time it is?" I said, "Nah." I looked at him, I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, it's 10:58," something like that. And he said, "No." He said, "You know what I said, motherfucker?" And put the gun in my face. And I said, "Give me your shit." And I said, "Damn." And my cousin is on the phone screaming because she could hear the whole thing. And normally, what was so crazy about it is my street at that time was jumping. Like no matter what time of night or day you out, somebody's outside. And especially then, it was warm outside. So people are outside, either kids outside riding their bikes up and down. And right where I live, there's a viaduct right here. So people are always walking through. Nobody was outside. So when I got to my apartment, I was telling my neighbor what happened. She was like, "Anybody outside?" And I said, "No." I said, "That's the strangest thing. The block is quiet." So I'm thinking maybe I don't know, maybe nobody saw anything, but it's just still kind of odd. It's just still kind of odd because, like I said, Chicago is a city that's always, especially the South Side, is always jumping. But anyway, Pat Moss has disappeared out of Riverdale, Georgia, has Alzheimer's and wandered away. I really hope they find her. Really hope they find her. I wish I had a picture up there. God, sorry, Kwame. All right, now let's go to April Williams. That was the first picture you showed, Kwame, the baby picture. Yes. Okay, this April Williams. Now, the picture on the left is how she looked when she disappeared. The picture on the right is the age progression picture. She was 3 months old when she disappeared or taken. Now, this happened almost 40 years ago, December 2nd, 1983. Her mother, Eleanor Williams, was 18 at the time and was on a bus trip to visit a man she had just met via pen pal. She met him through her brother, Kevin, who was in the Army. And he told his buddy, "Hey, I got a sister named Eleanor. She was this. Then she told Eleanor, "Hey, I got a buddy named Kevin here. He'll be good for you." Yeah. So they start writing back and forth, exchanging pictures and phone calls. So for months. So finally, he sent her money to come visit him in Kansas. See, just like y'all do now. Y'all meet somebody on on Tinder. You know how it is. You meet somebody on the app, and y'all finally visit one another. Yeah. So that was back in 1983. She had met this man via pen pal, and he sent her money. He wired her money. Come visit. So now she was pregnant when they started talking. So then he told. So she broke up with the father of her child because he was not ready to be a father. He couldn't take the pressure, so he bounced. So then she says she considered having an abortion because she really didn't want to have a baby. But in her words, I decided not to. There's something about when babies start moving and kicking, there's something inside you and you start bonding in some kind of special way. So then once the baby came, she and the father lost touch altogether. Then her thoughts remained on Kevin. And then after months of letters and photo exchanges, they finally agreed to meet. So he sent her the money for the bus ticket to Kansas so they could spend Christmas together. Now, she got as far as to Washington, D.C. Here's where the story gets interesting. So while she was in D.C., she was at the bus station, because you're doing Greyhound. I don't know if y'all ever took a Greyhound trip back in the day, but sometimes you exchange buses or you would wait till they get so far and you had to refuel and then you wait at the station and get back on. So she was at the station with the baby and this lady came up to her. She introduced herself as LaToya. So she described the lady as dark complexion with spots on her face. She had dark, short, wavy hair. She was wearing green pants, had a white ski jacket with purple floral lining on the inside of the jacket. So then, and she had both her ears were pierced. She had 2 holes in each ear. So she came and sat next to Eleanor, and she spoke how pretty the baby was, and she asked her if she could hold the baby. Eleanor was apprehensive at first, so the girl started making small talk, asking how old she was, where she was going, just being nosy and making small talk. So then she appeared to be very nice. So Eleanor was like, okay, you can hold her. So Eleanor was real tired. So the lady says, she introduced herself as LaToya. So Eleanor gave in and allowed LaToya to hold the baby. So LaToya said, I think the baby needs to be changed. And you look so tired, I'll do it. I'll change her. I'll take her to the bathroom, change her. So Eleanor said, well, she was tired. At first, she was like, no. Then she said, since she really was tired, she said, okay, go ahead. Now, I ain't no parent, but I have little cousins that I love. And if I was watching them, I don't care how tired I am, I'm not about to let them go off with some stranger. Absolutely not. And during the 80s, the early 80s, whole lot of things going on, kids. Because the situation was funny, but I took my very first plane ride in 80 or 81. And at that time, there were the Atlanta child murders. So my mother and I had to transfer planes in Atlanta. Hey, Tiffany. And my grandmother specifically told my mother, do not allow him to go to that bathroom by himself. If he has to go to the bathroom, you take him to the bathroom with you. Now me, I don't want to go to no girl's bathroom. Yeah, you're going to go. So you didn't let your child go off by itself in strange places. And especially go off with a stranger. That was kind of, but she was young. So I'm gonna leave it at that. She was young. So she introduced herself. I said that already. Yeah, so she said she did change. So she said she changed it for Eleanor, who was tired. She said, okay. So LaToya took the baby to the restroom. And when Eleanor got nervous at first because, like I said, you don't let your baby go off with a stranger. So after 10 minutes, Eleanor started getting antsy. And like, where's she at? Where's she at? She couldn't find her. So she became frantic. And then she found the police. So the police started questioning her. And then after a week, she stayed in D.C. for a whole week. And they just couldn't find this girl she described. So now the police questioned her. They're suspicious of her, which is natural. So she tried to find April. They asked questions, tried to find April. The police said that the suspect, because I guess they knew who she was by the description, they did tell her that her name could be Renee or Renee LaToya. She could have a sister. This is what they tell her she could have a sister named Letitia or Natisha, and she could have the astrological sign of Leo. Now, what they got to do with anything, I don't know. So Eleanor took a polygraph test, and the man asked her, "Did you sell your baby?" But that hurt her feelings, because she was thinking, "How could anyone ask you that? Why would you ever say something like that to me?" But she passed the polygraph test, And so then the police asked, "What did you do to your baby? Where's the baby?" So of course, she didn't do anything to the baby. She told LaToya. She kept telling LaToya took her. She stuck by her answer. LaToya took her. So after the police were satisfied, they sent her back home. Then once she got home, things just became even worse. Um, so the police received a tip from a bus driver of a metro bus saying that a woman that fits that description was carrying a baby, and also the passengers on the bus had saw LaToya. So they said she got off at the Prince George County line. So then squad cars went to this area, canvassed the area. They say they did. They canvassed the area and knocked on every door. Didn't find nobody. Didn't see anybody fit that description. Nobody, and no one knew anything. Now with that, I'm going to say they could have gone there. They may have. As far as nobody knowing anything, that could be true because now y'all know how we are. We will see something. I ain't getting involved. I don't know nothing. Case in point, once again, when I lived in Chicago, one night I was late. I used to watch Showtime at the Apollo every Saturday night, faithfully at 1 a.m. So I'm looking at the show, and I hear this arguing. I said, these dudes outside going at it. And so my cat was in the window. Now my cat saw the whole thing go down. I didn't see nothing. I was just laying there, and my window was open, so I could hear everything. I said, God damn, I wish they would shut the fuck up. And as soon as I said that, 6 gunshots went off. Now, people were outside. And we're going to find out that one of the people that was arguing, the dude he was arguing with, shot him in the head 6 times. Well, then, you meant to kill him, yeah. So now I have this body laying in front of my house. Nobody. So the police knocking on the door. I didn't answer the door because I didn't see anything. And I mean, Beauty, my cat, what's she going to say? Meow, meow, meow. So no, I didn't answer the door. I can hear the police outside talking, and there's a crowd. I was like, I'm looking out the window, peeping out the window. There's a crowd outside. Police, did you see anything? What happened? Everybody. I ain't seen nothing. Now it was quite a few people outside. I ain't seen nothing. No, one man said I saw the whole thing and told it, and everybody, you can hear people going, oh, because people. Because, people was like, you gonna tell, you gonna talk? People say, I don't want to die, but that's when nobody gets involved. I'm not getting involved. No, they don't want to come from me, yada, yada, yada. Well, that one brother, he was not scared. He told everything that he saw, told him what kind of car it was. And that's, that. Now, sidebar from that, I'm going to tell you the rest of the story. So, I lived downstairs. My sister lived upstairs. So her children's the mother of her children's father, Jeanette, called and said, did something happen by y'all house? So my sister said, yeah. And so then Jeanette started saying what happened. She knew what happened. And she said, get my grandbabies from over there. She said, because it's going to go down. And she said it's gonna be a retaliation. So one night I'm sitting on the porch. It was a late night. I used to sit outside and write because I love to write. So I was sitting outside writing, and at the time the dude that I was talking to was sitting on the porch with me. So we was just sitting there talking, and this car drives by real slow, and they get out. So what the dude was shot at is the memorial. You know how people do put memorial stuff, the animals, candles, all this stuff. So they had all that. So they got out the car and they acknowledged the memorial site and just kept staring at the house across the street because the ones who pulled the trigger lived across the street. I can say it now, it's years later. So anyway, they lived across the street. So when they drove off, and I told my sister what happened. And then we started talking. I said, something happened. 2 weeks later, I was at work, thank God. I was doing overtime. And my sister called me. She said, they shot up the house across the street. I said, I told you it was going to go down. Yeah, see? Yeah, so. But nobody saw nothing there either. Nobody saw nothing. Nobody knew nothing. Nobody saw anything. But it was funny. So then, I was talking to my best friend Eddie on the phone. Kwame knows Eddie. And Eddie said, "What's going on?" I told him what happened. He said, "Well, God, what's Twyla and the kids?" I said, "Twyla probably says packing." He goes, "Why ain't you?" I said, "What am I gonna pack for? I ain't got nothing to do with that. That ain't gonna bother me." But that's life. That was life in Chicago. That's back then. That's what I used to love. I used to love the hood, and that was in actually the hood. And that hood that I lived in, it was so bad there. I never allowed my mother to come visit me. That's how bad it was. I mean, I knew where I was, but that was a long time ago. So much has changed since then. Thank God. But anyway, okay, back to Eleanor. So after that, Eleanor, she went home, like I said, and the town she lived in, they ridiculed her, they blamed her, and said a lot of mean and hurtful things, such as, "You probably killed that baby because you didn't want her in the first place." Because she didn't make it a secret that she didn't want a child. You know, she was young. She let it be known, like, "I really don't want this baby. I don't want to be pregnant." So that they said all kinds of stuff to her. So she blamed herself from then and to this very day, 2023. She still blames herself. And so she finally met up with Kevin. A month after she got home, he sent her some more money. She went again. And they met, and she said that her sole intent, just so she can get pregnant, because she thought having a baby would replace April. And Kevin knew this, so he went with it. And Eleanor thought having a baby would take away the pain that she felt, but it only intensified. So that following September, she gave birth to she and Kevin's daughter. And she and Kevin lost touch after that. She never heard from him again. So now she often wonders about April and how she is, how she's doing. Did she have a wedding? What has she done with her life and everything like that? Now, I told this story because the young lady's missing, but then because of the fact that April is an almost, well, soon to be 40-year-old woman, and she has no idea who she is. That's scary. She has no idea this is happened to her. None. Because I'm quite sure that lady never told her. Just like the young lady on Iyanla, who was kidnapped from the hospital by the nurse and raised to be her daughter. She didn't know till the lady confessed to her and told her. So that's scary to think. You know, there are people out here who really don't have a clue. So April has no idea. I'm sure her name is not April. And with the age progression picture, that if that's how she looks, you know. But how would you feel if you found, if you found out that, you're not who you really are? Your parents are not your parents. That would be devastating to me. But then it would be devastating just to know that that's not who I am. But since I'm speaking for me, I had a good childhood, so I wouldn't complain about it. But I think it would still be devastating to find out. But yeah, but that's why I told the story about April. So April was kidnapped, and no one, they saw it. Well, the bus driver and the passenger saw her, but the police didn't find her in the Prince Charles district. The district she was in. Not Prince Charles. I don't think about oh God, why am I thinking about them people? But anyway, in that district, no one found her. And that's scary. But anyway, next week I will be back with more cases. I'm going to do children next week. There are tons of children missing as well. I mean, tons. And no one sees or knows anything. I keep saying I find it odd. No one knows anything. No one knows nothing. Somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. But going back to the comment section, yeah, it will be too. Kwame, did you say where did I grow up or something you said? Or something you said in that comment? Where the hell you grew up? No, that's not where I grew up at. That's where I lived. At a point in time in my life, I lived in that area. That's not where I grew up at, though. No, where I grew up, child. I grew up, nothing like that. Just that particular area, Inglewood. And that's why when I lived in California, I tell people, Inglewood, California ain't got nothing on Inglewood in Chicago. Nothing. Trust and believe what I tell you. Nothing. But thank y'all for rocking with me on today. Thank you. Like next week, I'm gonna have more cases because there are tons. I mean, we could just go on and on. There are tons, but I will have more cases. Yeah, please hit like, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Pirate Media, subscribe to Kandid Conversations channel, and keep rocking with me. I love y'all for rocking with me. Thank you so much. I love y'all for real, for real, for real. And don't forget, join me in the morning, or after the noontime, morning time, depending on where you live, for Pirate Power Hour. Me and my partner in crime, Kwame Speaks, as we'll be talking about a little bit of everything, a little bit of everybody. So come in, join the fun, have some laughs at 12 o'clock noon on Eastern and 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. Now, again, once again, thank you all for rocking with me. I love you all. Peace.